let's see. So I've added some more pictures. um, go with this one. So half elf. It's literally for this. This is the only. So Bard can only be played by two races, which is the human and the half elf. And we choose the half elf over the human for this. That's it. Bard, blade, offensive spin. That's it. That's why we use it. That and the ability to cast spells. Otherwise, something like a barbarian or a. I guess monks don't get their speed increased until like level 4 or 5. Yep, way too late. So, Bard blade. Alignment has literally no bearing, other than don't be evil. So reputation is tied to shop prices, because that's what they decided to do. So if you start evil, you start with one lower reputation, which puts you at disliked as opposed to average, which makes things harder. We skip a lot of the reputation nonsense now. We didn't used to. We used to intentionally tank a reputation, because depending on what side of the spectrum you are on, depends on the special abilities you get as you level. So you'll notice when we rest, we occasionally have those interruption cutscenes. Those are our special abilities proccing. We used to want to be on the evil side, so we would get horror instead of cure poison. And that was so we could fear the guards before we went in and tried to kill Drasus. And then hopefully kill Drasus before the guards finished being feared. Now we just have an extra scroll of invisibility, because we're baller. They really will. Rolls, anything over like an 82 is going to suffice for us. 15 strength is mandatory. That's just a straight stat check. Dex 18, that helps with some of the traps, but yeah. Con 16 is just nice to have. We don't get the extra bonus for going all the way to 18. We're hard capped at a +2 per level. And then we need our 18 in our charisma. So even though we don't talk to anybody in the Iron Throne, we still need that charisma to be maxed. For reasons. They don't make any sense, but because the option is there, I think, Mark's looking into this. He found a source code editor, so he's digging. So we think that since the option is there, if you had talked to the guy, which is one way to legitimately investigate the Iron Throne, like you get the journal pop up and everything, that it still clears the flag so we can continue, even though we don't talk to him. I don't know. We don't use weapons. We don't care. I have my specific brand of orange. And that's the character. Questions so far? Alright. Legacy of Bald mode. I forget the exact numbers on everything except for the health, but I think everything's, for the most part, like, doubled. So, if you had a THAC0 of 5, it's now down to a THAC0 of 2. You had 10 AC, it's now 5 AC, you know, whatever. I think. And then you get a, depending on your class, it's either a half or a 1 attack per round. Big bit is the 3 times health plus 80, which is stupid. You go from a 5 health Gibberling to a 95 health Gibberling. So,
nestled atop the cliffs.
First thing we do is I've got everything mapped. You don't really need to know this, but I did a decent bit of hotkey change arounds for some things. So most everything is in the left side of my keyboard. So my inventory is on V, character information's on G. A lot of this we don't use, so it just kind of stayed the same. And then we introduced the use item and special abilities, so that's how I get to this button faster. And then once we have things that are in our bag, we can get to our bag faster. So, and then once you're in those menus, those are then all on your F keys, and those can't be rebound. So just hop in, and then this is the prologue, all of it, in its entirety. We walk from point A to point B, and then we push 1.
Hey, it's me.
Done. Easy as that. So the first thing we do is, before we get talked to by Imwin, is we walk south. This unlocks High Hedge for us. And that is just our map routing so that we can go from Larswood to High Hedge for our shopping later. Then we talk to Imwin. Her dialogue doesn't really matter, except for we want her to join our party. It is the longest possible thing to get her to not join the party. So if you just hit 1, it's the quickest. So then we go into our inventory. I rebound like my item slots to 1, 2, and 3. So my second character actually starts at 4. And then 5 and 6, right? But we're gonna grab her Oil of Speed and her Wand of Magic Missile. That's it. The wand is literally just to cover our identify cost. You can start the game with enough gold to identify, but Bard, because starting gold is random, can start anywhere between, I think, 40 and 120. But Baldur's Gate is nice enough to do increments of 10 as opposed to a complete random. But it's still increments of 10 random between 14. So we just kind of leave her there. So if you just select one character at a time, you can do your thing. We rest to get our offensive spin back and wander our way up to Zara and Montaron. So I like to call him Other One. So their dialogue options are again 1 and 1. It's the quickest way to get them there. You can also do 1 and 2, and I think 1 and 3? I forget. 1 in the first slot is very important, and just not changing again, so it works. We grab his Oil of Speed. I like to put it up in my inventory. This saves 1 menu, kind of, when we get to Nashkel. Very, very minor time save. And then same idea, just select one character, walk to the edge. Now we could, if we were bad at this, or if I misclick, we might get a must-gather party before venturing forth. Oh, good classic lines. We just remove everybody. You can actually quick save while you are in this menu. So then we exit. Yep, so there's the quick save. And then we want to rest again, because in the next screen we have Elminster, and we want to run away. So we didn't get attacked, that's why we put the quick save down. There's a chance for Gibberlines to attack us here.
Stay thy course a moment to indulge.
Pretty much. Like, and in general, since we didn't get the rest, we don't get the reset of our abilities. So we're just gonna reload and try and get our ability back. So it's not necessarily dangerous. Like, if we were gonna fight it, sure. But no, we're not fighting anything. It's just, we didn't get our abilities, so we're gonna try again. Yeah. So we go over to this bush, Ring of Princes, 1,000 gold. Nice and free. This is our first deviation from any percent. Oh, I lied. We have one other deviation. Back we go. Alright.
At once.
I forgot my leather armor. I forgot which mode I was doing. We want potion of speed and leather armor from Montreal. The leather armor is for getting out of Nashkel. That's it. So those kobolds shooting at us and the oozes shooting at us. So this is a prime example of having to set. That's fine. So I grabbed the leather armor instead of casting shield, which is the other option. It's just things to get our AC lower for when we're being shot at. Best of both worlds would be to do both, but why? So friendly arm in is very nice. There are no possible encounters, other than the couple scripted ones that are way up here. So you can rest as many times in here as you want, and you will never get a random encounter. It's super handy. So Peldvale, this is just our opening map exploration bit. This is how we get into Chapter 3 so fast. We're able to just click on our map and walk through all the random encounters that come to us. So we just unlocked Larswood. We walked south first to get that open, and then we're going to walk west into Farm. Worms Crossing, or whatever they wanted to call this map. I think the bridge is technically the Worms Crossing map, because that is the bridge. His name. Oh no. That's a terrible place for him to spawn. We might be screwed. Oh. Okay, phew. Yeah, this is the first thing we do. This is the Ankeg Cave. This is somewhere you're supposed to come and try and tackle when you're, like, on your way to Baldur's Gate. So, post-Chapter 4. So you've already done Nashkel, you've already done Thieves, you've already done Cloakwood. You've got a bunch of magical equipment. You're level, like, 5 and 6. Yep. And then it's Legacy of Bhaal. So, Ankegs that normally hit you for, I think minimum they can do is 11? Might be 9. I'll have to check. Either way, it's more health than I have on their minimum damage. I can save against part of it so that it will go under. But, yeah. So the first thing we do is we're not going to activate our offensive spin right away. We're going to wait just a hair. We get in here. So there's an Ankeg right here. Our path, largely, is going to be around him, some pillars. We're going to duck down here. Another Ankeg spawns there, so we need to duck around a corner again to get out of his line of sight. Another Ankeg spawns here, so we have to duck around another corner to get out of his sight. 2 more are going to spawn there and there before we get to the treasure trove. And then we're going to get to the treasure trove and then run like ninnies all the way back out. So, you're just hoping this goes well. It's gone decent of late, but sometimes he gets a very quick shot off, which is unfortunate. One of the key things is to keep their heads spinning, because otherwise they shoot. So from there, we're going to grab pretty much everything except for the stackable items. The reason we don't grab the stackable items is then we need to sell the stack. It's a double click plus some time. And we've worked it out, and we don't actually need the extra money by, like, on average, 100 gold. So I like to click here first while I'm panning, and then click there, and then the auto path is just going to do it for me. I'm either going to die or I'm not. Helps if I... There we go.
At once.
And our offensive spin lasts literally just long enough to get through that cave. So then we head down to High Hedge for our first shopping. So I do a lot of quick saves in here. Skeleton can spawn there. Then skeleton can spawn here. If the skeleton spawns here, I like to reset it, just because it's Legacy of Bhaal. He has a very good chance of killing you in 2 shots, and he's gonna get a shot off as you get to the door. He's gonna follow you in, and then get another shot off on your way out. So it's better if we just reset him. And resetting is basically just resting in the very near vicinity of them.
I'm here to help.
It's a little
I be Thalantir,
dicey
mighty
sometimes.
mage of Baragost.
That should be all my identifies. We sell off these, we keep the wand of fire, sell off literally everything else. And then we're going to buy 2 potions of explosion. The second one is backup in case we don't have great rolls on our fireballs later. Magic blocking, same as any percent, we need it for the webs, protection from magic. We can buy it either here or we can buy it in Baldur's Gate. Doesn't really matter when we do it. I just like to do it here. Partly because it's habit, partly because it's similar to the any percent. Identify for a Wand of Frost later. Currently I run all 3 mirror images. I like casting. So here's kind of the debate with this one. We can either grab 2 mirror images and shield. So shield lasts for an hour. We cast it at the start of Nashkel. It is good for the duration. Mirror image has a much shorter duration. If I am lucky, I have 1 mirror image still intact to walk out of Mulahe. Chances are very high that that's not going to be the case. It takes too long to get through that many wands to kill him. So in which case I need to cast a second mirror image just to get out of the Kobold's firing line, which is very deadly. Very, very deadly. Then pass the oozes. So the shield can help us either have more misses, in which case, hooray. I'm going to still have some mirror image left over before I go and invade the Ettercap Scats. One of those in the tomb that we go raid for our Wand of Monster Summoning. Or I can just have the 3rd mirror image up, expect both of my images to get burned, probably also take a hit, and then just plow through it, taking the damage, and then cast a fresh mirror image when we get to the tomb, which is what I'm preferring. And the reason I'm going to the tomb is the current optimal route is to not go to the tomb at all, but then we rely on 2 scrolls of Monster Summon 2 to do the doppelganger fight, and it's really dicey. So we're gonna do the marathon strat. I have a little bit of dice trying to get the staff, but it's not that bad, honestly. And the resets are very, very quick. And then I can guarantee I will have 5 monsters of monsters I want, and then can cast 5 more if I need them, or 5 more if I still need them. Something's gone terribly wrong if I need to do a 3rd cast, though. So, mirror image, and then invisibility.
At once.
So we walk out, we get attacked, we get attacked. We don't get our spell back, we get attacked. We don't get our spell back. There we go. It happens all the time.
I'm here at once.
So now we're off to go rescue Rage. So this is a mixture of... This is very slightly faster than going straight down to Nashkel. Optimal route from Nashkel is over to Baragost, south out of Baragost, to whatever these 2 are, into Nashkel. And then we're going to walk past a bunch of things in Nashkel. Some of those things want to kill us. Or we can walk south out of High Hedge through that half of the map to this map.
Enemies and must defend
I should be okay. Around. These things are nice and slow. Those are actually one of the best encounters we can get. Walk to this map, open up so that we have a nice connected chain. So this is what we would find out of the south of Baragost, or if we went south out of this map. So now we have a nice clean chain back to Larswood for when we're done with the mines.
at once.
If we don't do that, we kind of get stuck and we have to do a long section. We rescue this guy. I guess convincing that he's insane.
Things
I'm here to
thou
help.
hast found me.
And then we get teleported to Nashkel, as if no time
Glory of
happened,
Am.
which is nice. We also get a 3,000 experience-ish, I think. Yeah, which is handy. It helps with the getting to level 4 on time for the pickpocketing of Slife, which we have found to be kind of the optimal point for his pickpocket. That's news for much later, though. So we're in Nashkel. This is why I put the hot
I'm here to help.
on my hotbar. So I can just click it and go. I don't have to open up my inventory and find it. And we don't use the next one until we enter Cloakwood, so kind of a moot point-ish. Like it's a very, again, very minor time save because we then do our mine inventory here. Identify our wand, put on invisibility and mirror image. Wander down here, talk to the master of the mine, say, hey, the mayor sent us.
So you
We're totally
are
trustworthy, let us in.
Stand away,
And then we go
citizens.
invisible.
At once.
So we're totally trustworthy and here to save everyone. So things that break invisibility, checking containers, attacking, casting spells, those
At once.
all kind of count. Things we can get away with is chugging potions, which is really nice. That's really about it. Our first action is free. Like, we'll get the first wand cast off without being seen. We'll get the first trap snare set if we wanted without being seen. First spell cast, what have you. I guess, caveat to that, we can cast things that affect us and only us while invisible without breaking it, as we see here with mirror image. Or if we cast anything offensive, anything that goes and damages somebody. So our first traps are here. There are 2 of them. We are fast enough, we pretty much always are able to walk over one without it activating. I've been a little unlucky with Legacy of Ball. The idea is you just walk. Yeah, so there's a double. We don't like those. We're gonna try again. Got both again.
I'm here to help.
Alright, game.
At once.
Thank you. So the mine routing, there's really only one optimal path. So it's just learn it and run it. So that was unfortunate. That arrow caught up to me before I made it through the entrance, which means I have no shields left, no chance whatsoever of finishing this fight fast enough. That's fine. So we stealth in Invis. Since he's not an enemy yet, we can just save here. We're gonna try and get off 5 wand shots before he can get angry. So Mulahay's scripting's a little weird. Even if he takes damage, the first thing he wants to do is talk to you. So we're going to try and get 2 off before he talks to us the first time, and we're going to try and get 3 more off before he would normally get angry. So we need to get him to a state, we don't know the exact percentage of health on this. It's around like 25 to 30% of his max is left. Then he just gets stuck in a dialogue loop where he, you know, is surrendering, but is going to betray us if we let him. But he's still never made it to combat, so that trigger never took over. It's weird, but it works, so we use it. But if we don't do enough damage, he just instantly summons all of his minions, we're dead. We, you know, load and try again. So, here we go. 5 wands before he can kill us. So that was a terrible roll. We are looking for something closer to mid-20s, preferably low 30s. Because it is an 8d6, there's a chance for some really good damage. So since we talked to him, we were considered in dialogue, and the game has a very, very slow refresh rate on when you are in dialogue and when you're not. This is a holdover from the talking glitch. We can't talk glitch people anymore, otherwise we would use that here, which is a little sad. But we can use it to reset our rounds because we're no longer dialogued. There's 3, 4. We're having some pretty good wands. So he started moving towards me. This means he is active in his talk loop. Otherwise he would have just talked at us and then summoning would have come. So the fact that he's moving towards us is good. We have achieved our damage.
At once.
So now we try and stay away from him because every time he is talking to us we can't be firing our wand and the round doesn't continue while you are in dialogue. That was an unfortunate last wand. You have to leave at least 4 charges on because it's also one of our gold items that we sell later. The less charges, the more gold. Or I should, yeah, you get it. So then we switch over to the Wand of Fire. Wand of Fire has 2 modes, Fireball and Scorcher. So we use Scorcher mode. This is because we die to our own fireballs. Simple as that. We also get 2 hits off with Scorcher, which is nice. So 21 on that is okay. We did some decent damage. He should die. Nope, he didn't. Alright. So we're gonna have to cast a second one. Wow. Way underestimated his. There he goes. So the reason we have to kill him with the Fire Wand is that we can freeze him with the Frost Wand. And if enemies get frozen, they don't actually drop all of their loot. They'll drop anything story critical, but not like their armor or their special magical items. They're considered shattered with their corpse. So, yeah. We grab these. It's mainly for this ring. That is a very good cleric ring. 5,000 gold. And now we're going to escape. So this is time to cast our second mirror image. Alright. So, mirror image, save. Let's get out of here. Level. So, this is the end of chapter 2, technically. So this is an autosave screen. We get a nice retry point.
I'm here to help. All grows
Yep.
cold. And then I'm here to help. All grows cold. And then
So this is why I put the save back here sometimes, is because the autosave doesn't always put you in an advantageous spot. So 2 out of 3, that's not good. Oh, got out. Alright. So now we're going to pop some quick saves. There's a knoll down here that I've been running into. He's a random spawn, so he's not always there. But as with everything, we just don't want things to spawn. There's also a skeleton that can spawn there. And then we just despawn them with the same tricks that we despawn everything with. Not exactly. You gotta trick it a little bit. So you need to know where it's going to be, and as long as it's in kind of this lighter fog of war, so you can see it, you have like a solid round to recognize it's there before it comes after you. Yeah. So, yes, but no. We're popping on our mirror image, putting down a quick save, whatever these things are. Casts. Yeah. This room sucks. That's the nicest thing I have for it. He got a very quick attack off. That's very unfortunate. I made the save, but not bad. Yep. This is my safety item for the run. Behind a wall of gas that want to kill us. It's my safety item. Yeah. We go to Carnival for a free rest. It's another no encounter zone.
Healthy too.
But we don't actually have to buy anything here anymore. We just go straight to Larswood.
You have been waylaid by enemies.
Dogs are not bad. They're actually in the right zone. So encounters change as we walk along. You can kind of tell where you're at depending on what encounters you're getting. So we very much expect 2 encounters on our way to Larswood. It's 88 hours or something like that. So every 8 hours they're rolling on the encounter table to see if you get something. And most of these have like a 20%-ish chance for a random encounter. Yeah. So we expect 2. So you kind of decide when you want to use your offensive spin. Like if you get ghasts early, perfect. It's a nice easy one. We can just walk straight through it. Don't need to burn it yet. If we get Ogre Mage, we just retry. We're dead. If we get Winter Wolf, I think I'm the only person who still tries it because I'm lucky for some reason. Hobgoblins, we just reset. Anything with range, so the bandits that can show up, the kobolds that can show up. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that are going to try and kill us from point A to point B. And we hope we run into as few of them as possible.
I'm here to help.
So here, as soon as I can see this guy, I'm going to try and rest. Because he's going to try and talk to me. This guy's going to try and talk to me, I guess. The reason I'm resting here instead of in the bandit camp is that I can not have to wait for Tazik to walk off. This is why we need our strength. So our dialogue options say, "Hi, it's a bloodthirsty job. We're going to do a bunch of killing." Cool. And then we get escorted into the bandit camp. So we rest ahead of time to get our offensive spin back, so that we don't have to deal with him walking off screen, because he's considered the one that's holding us in dialogue. And as long as he is on screen, we are still held in dialogue.
I'm here to help.
Because cutscene dialogue is treated differently. So our offensive spin doesn't last quite long enough for us to get from where we started in and out, so we had to rest somewhere. We've kind of decided that here is good. There's a guy in front that wants to talk to us, so we stop just short of him, rest, drink our potion of absorption, do our round reset, and go get chatted at.
Now that was a stinker.
And now our spin will last long enough to get us all the way through.
I'm here to help.
Here you just have to click as soon as you get in to avoid getting talked at, and then do a little bit of a loop around again to avoid getting talked at. There are no dialogue options available to avoid a fight there, and as soon as you're in a fight, they will follow you. So, very dangerous if you get talked to. Usually just easier to reset. So, Bandit Camp is another no encounter zone, so we rest there. We wander back to Ilminster screen to unlock Cloakwood. So we could do this in... don't think we can do it from the farm. We can do it in either of these maps, so, and it just... given where you are in relation to the other maps, depends where you spawn into that map. So if you're going from Peldvale to Friendly Arm, you end up on the east side of Friendly Arm. But the spawn point on the east side of Friendly Arm is in the north, which is very unfortunate. We have to exit west. Whereas here, we can reveal Cloakwood either north or west. And we're coming from Peldvale, we end up on the north side, very convenient. North exit. But we're going to High Hedge, because we need to do some shopping. We're going to go recharge our Wand of Frost, so that we have a damage source for the rest of the game. We're crossing our fingers for no skellies. Of course Skelly 2 is there. Of course Skelly 2 hits.
Oh no.
That is the
At once.
absolute minimum damage. That's fantastic. So we're going to sell off all the stuff that we have acquired, which is quite a bit, including our Wand of Frost. That's how we recharge it. Leave our Wand of Monster Summoning. We need like 1950 gold. Yeah. Boom. Look at that. 164 left. Swimming in it. But now we have a Wand of Frost with 100 charges, which is pretty baller. Skelly's gonna pop in. We're gonna run. He very nicely and thoughtfully switched to melee mode, so he wasn't firing crap at us anymore.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself.
Typically you get a rest off at the end of High Hedge, but being under attack we don't have that luxury. So Cloakwood is just a series of movement maps. Nothing too spectacular about them. We do a round reset here to get our magic blocking off. This is so we can walk through all the web traps. Walk around all the other caps. Get yelled at by the Tazloi.
We must protect the tiny furry creatures of the wilderness, but not the big ones with fangs and anger issues.
It's a great line. It's just a great voice line. Most of the encounters in Cloakwood are very straightforward. No real danger to any of them. The only exception being the Ettercaps. If you head out the west end, which is sort of the fastest, like we're talking less than a second difference between north, south, and west, there's a web trap, so if you just go north or south and lose that half second, you're perfectly fine. But yeah, the encounters here aren't too bad. Here we need to avoid a peek over, even though it's deadly. That's a nymph. She can cast Dire Charm and we just die. So here we are in Cloakwood Mines. Pop our Oil of Speed. We do a round reset. We cast Invisibility. This gets us past these two guards that we used to whore. There's two places to do this. We've all kind of settled on being up in the stables. You can also hide kind of under this pine tree. Either way, you need to get out of sight of the two guards and out of sight of the group that's up here. This is where we're going to start casting a bunch of our fireballs. So, pop down a quick save. The damage here is tight. It just is. Drasus originally had 63 health. You can do the math for what he has now. I don't remember, 270 or something like that. It's ridiculous. So we need to average, I forget what the exact number is, like 23.4-ish. Somewhere between 23 and 24 damage per attack. And we're going to do 13 of them. So, yeah. Here we go. We just kind of keep a running tally. And if the damage isn't good enough, we just reset it and try again. That's annoying. Running into this earlier, where my wand charges weren't dissipating even though the quick save was going on. Weird. So like some of these lower ones I'm okay with because I'm expecting to get some 28s, 26s as well. Like that 19. I haven't had any 30s yet. We're not messing around here. Pretty much. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to our Potions of Explosion. We're cutting it a little close on damage. We got a couple good rolls in. Okay. We're gonna have to get a good one here. That's not it.
At once.
Nope. Ooh, that's higher than I wanted it to be. There it is.
I'm here to help.
So yeah, tight. Now, just gonna swap out some wands. I guess I technically need that later. We have our Boots of Speed on. Boots of Cheetah. We're going to get past this group. We're going to cast Invisibility again. And this is so a couple of the guards don't follow us down, which will then make our life miserable on our way back up. And then we're going to go try and avoid some traps, and then kill Dav. Or as he's known in the scripting, as we found out recently. Dave. Nobody wants to type Dava every time. Here goes her invis.
I'm here to help.
So one of the key things I forgot to mention here is that we have to leave that wand at 1 charge, because otherwise we lose it entirely. And we still have like 10 charges of the Scorcher left.
At once.
Which is how we're going to kill Dav. So we need his items, because we need money.
At once.
Welcome to the door of breaking all of our hopes and dreams. So, this one's not terribly well understood either. We know that it's not exactly a perception check, but it kind of is. It's the equivalent of a perception check. So it does function kind of on a roundly basis. So we pop a quick save, and if we don't get it within a second or two, we reset it to try and give us another chance to find it. And as soon as we find it, open it, pop another quick save, because now we need to run past some more traps. These ones are going to go off, because they're scripted to. There's no, like, ground trigger we can try and disable here. It's just going to happen. Thing is, we can dodge them, because they are projectiles and they don't bend around walls too well. So, I die a lot here. Lindworm is the master of walking around these walls. I am not. So, here we go. And I got the very, very lucky save for a spell. So, unfortunately, I walked a little too far forward, and this guy spawned. It means I'm going to have to try and only do 2 wands while he's still in this position, so that he stays in the Fog of War down here, and Dav teleports up here. So we're going to get off, on average, about 13 Wands of Frost. If we needed to use like more than 15, we've had some really terrible rolls. But 13's coming in right around average for me. Between 12 and 14 is very, very normal. So we're only going to do 2 here in this position, wait till he teleports up, and then do the rest up there. And more or less, Dav is just scripted. So the first couple actions he makes is to teleport to here, then he teleports over here, and then he starts trying to kill you. And so we're able to pretty much lock him in stage 2, which is super nice. Not sure quite how the fine-tuned bits of it work. Something to do with the rounds and how the scripting interact, and him taking damage and having a spellcasting failure. Something with that conglomerate. It's all working together. Terrible first wand, that's okay.
At once.
So we're going to wait patiently. There he goes. And now we're just going to bounce back.
At once.
And because he's still in his script and not an enemy, even though I'm attacking him, as soon as he's out of sight, I can just save and do it again. Super nice. So we're hoping this next one kills him. Oh.
At once.
Alright, so we're doing a little low on the damage, very low on the damage. So he froze, that's not good. So we reset, pop this one open, and then cast the Scorcher at him. Hope it procs. Nope. Which means he's over the damage threshold for the first shot, most likely, because his fire resistance is ridiculous. But under the damage threshold, oh god, this is going to be terrible. Here we go. Take two. Got him. Fast enough on the round that time. So we grab all of his robes. One so we can have Identify Money again, and the other one is the Evil Archmagi robe, which is quite expensive. So happy to have that. So this is the Ettercap encounter. There's the trap we ran over.
I'm here to help.
Doesn't matter once you have double speed, or if you have your offensive spin up, it's zero danger. But if you don't, Beyond Keg can still kill you. You just try and run fast enough.
I'm here to help.
So oftentimes I have taken damage from the skull traps here. So this is my usual place to level up and rest, just to get back to full health before the doppelganger fight, which I know is like 3 fights away, but it's basically our last rest of the game. So now that we have the boots, we don't need offensive spin at all anymore. They do not stack. They did in the earlier version. It was kind of silly. So, identify one thing, because that's... Oh, we do have enough money for 2. Oh, look at that. So, we are going to grab our Potions of Invisibility, and Speed, and Master Theory just like any percent, as well as our Clairvoyance. Then we're also going to grab a Slow, wander all the way down here for a Haste, some Chaos, and Greater Malision. So we're still tweaking the Doppelganger fight. The Greater Malision popped up literally last week, but it's a nice little spell. It has no saving throws, so they just are affected, and then it gives them minuses to their saving throw. So for things like the slow, we're going to try and put on the doppelgangers, and the chaos, and the damage that we're going to try and do. All of those saves are reduced, which is nice. So one extra spell, but great benefit, and it lasts long enough. At least to get off the slow, which is the game-winning portion of this. So that's all the shopping we're going to do. We're going to put on all of our potions. We just have a stack of potions of healing for later. This is if you take damage for some reason from Slythe, you pickpocket and run away. Doppelgangers, or if you don't want to rest on the bridge and just want to use pots of healing. We get them for free, so they take up inventory space, which is not ideal. Pop an Oil of Speed, we wander through Baldur's Gate to go investigate the Iron Throne. That's what Scar wanted. He wanted to hire us to go check this place out. He's the guy we can talk to. That's very true, Linfirm. Very, very true. It feels so good when Saravok is just killing his own people. It feels so good. It really does. It's fun to watch. So we could pay this guy 300 gold for information, or we can just walk out of the building, and it's considered the same. for reasons we don't fully understand. And we go tell Scar, hey, that job you want us to do, we did it. We're gonna go meet the Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate. Entar Silvershield. Eltan Silvershield, whatever his name is. So we agree to help him out, and then he tells us of a meeting of the Mines, of the Iron Throne, back at Candlekeep. We go, sure, we'll check it out. We give the gate guard a book because he wouldn't let us back in earlier, because he's a dick. And it's how Candlekeep is supposedly safe, is you have to provide knowledge in order to get in. They're just trusting that all smart people are benevolent. Or something. Walk upstairs, get captured, get sprung from jail. We take our Shadow Door and our Minor Globe Invulnerability. This is where we would pick up our second scroll of Monster Summon. We're going that route. We would buy one from Sorcerer Sundries, and we would pick this one up. So then we walk out, go invisible, because they want to talk to you, we don't want to talk to them. Doppelganger. That's a doppelganger. You'll notice a theme going on for the rest of the game. Those are doppelgangers. That's obviously a doppelganger, so are those. These are not doppelgangers, they're just assassins. Why they are waiting for me at the bottom of a crypt, nobody can figure out. That's a potential party member. At the end of Chapter 6, start of Chapter 7, you were literally at the end of the game, there's a party member. And back to Baldur's Gate we go. Very dead. Just not even going to try. So encounters back to Baldur's Gate are actually pretty rare. Surprised I'm getting this many. You get them from time to time. Like, they do happen. So there, pot of speed, so we can run away from Elminster quickly. Just helps the time. And then reset invisibility before you walk down here, because otherwise he wants to talk to you, and then all of these want to kill you, then he wants to kill you. Noxious. Oddly, you can walk in here, and none of these guys want to talk to you. It's the weirdest thing. Like, here we are, standing, guarding the sewer entrance. Oh yeah, you seem you belong. Come on in. Don't even wave you on through. Come on. And then this is Slythe and whatever her name is. Wherever she is. She's invisible. Cool. He has a partner. She's there. We're gonna chug down our potions of Master Thievery. Save after you've chugged them all down. So we should have well over 100 pickpocket. This is going to give us roughly like a 75-ish% chance to pickpocket. Like, we're not guaranteed, but we're good. Haven't done the exact math on it, I'm sure we could. We're just lazy. And we're looking for 4 pickpockets. If I would remember to do my inventory. So we need 4 scrolls. One of them is a invitation into the coronation of Saravak. The other one is the writ to Slythe to kill us. Because, yeah. Why not? That off, and then we're actually going to cast first. Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay. Freed up some space. He's angry, so I'm actually going to do it again. Okay.
At once. I need
That's terrible. I'm going to try this again. I didn't save. Alright. Save the inventory in this time. Save. There we go.
At once.
Look at Kristen, honey. It's the heroes of...
I need this more than you do.
He's angry, but I have all the scrolls. So the first thing you pickpocket from him, pretty much always, is his crossbow. So he has 4 items. 2 of them need to be there. 2 of the scrolls need to be there. So we can get it in 3. We just like to see 4 because it's faster than checking our inventory. I would like to walk, please. Thank you.
You must gather your party before
I love the solo party gather.
At once.
Walk through there. A bunch of people want to talk to us. Sometimes we can get past the first guy. He just wants money. Option 2 to pay him 10 gold. And then the other 2 have things. One of them will get angry and attack you. That's fine. So instead of going straight to this area, again, we're going to abuse how you enter maps. So we go in from the south, which puts us very close to the gates that we need to be at. We give Bill the invitations. We talk to this guard because... Or not. Or yes. Love it. Give him his invitations, and that just pacifies the Flaming Fist, because otherwise they will either aggro, or you get kicked out and then the game ends. Yeah, good times. So we're going to cast our Wand of Monster Summon. That's a pretty decent roll. We are looking for at least 3 melee bodies. These are going to be kind of our meat shields to try and get doppelgangers to attack them instead of the 2 dukes that we're trying to save. And then I like to have at least 1 or 2 hobgoblin archers, because then those 2 are going to stay back, and we're just relying on their crits to do some extra damage. So, decent enough roll. So we'll keep that. We will do a save, reset, put on haste, save again, reset, so that our spell casts are going to be ready, and then go initiate this dialogue. So I'm going to reposition these guys in a way that is going to interfere with like these 4's pathing. And because summons have like priority aggro, they are spawned with the intention to go kill these 2. But if they are delayed from arriving there long enough, they will attack nearest target with summons at the top of the list. So that's our goal. I am going to stand over here and put on Chaos and Slow. Wait for them to turn into Doppelganger form, cast Malision, cast Chaos, cast Slow. And I might still change up that order a little bit, but we are going to cast Malision first to give the other 2 a better chance of responding. Alright. So cast. Got it onto all of them, that's good. Chaos is next. We had a very good aggro pull. So you'll notice that this guy's aggroed on a summon, this guy's aggroed on a summon, he's on belt, he's on belt, he's on Leah, but we got 3 of them onto summons, which is great. This is very, very good. Our Chaos went off, and everything that was attacking our Dukes is now Chaosed. So they might get another attack or 2, or might re-aggro. There's going to be a time delay on it, and their attack's going to be slower. So this is very good. This is a very good start to this fight. If it doesn't go well, this is the time you just kind of go, well, let's try again. Because it's faster than waiting and seeing if you can manage to pull it out. So our next spell is Slow. Excellent. That was super, super good. I don't think I've ever gotten an all 6. Ever. So, now we just pop on our wand, and we just pot shot. Anything that wasn't chaosed, so this guy, is aggroed on belt, he's going to be our first target. This doppelganger's attacking this doppelganger. This is great. This is super, super good. So Belt's taking a little bit of damage. Our minions aren't doing a lot for us, but that's okay. So there's still quite a few of them alive. So I'm going to cast a second Chaos. Kind of my benchmark for this is there 3 or less? Because Belt can pretty reliably chew through 3 of them on his own. So if there's more than 3 and Chaos wears off, just cast another Chaos. So that's the Milesian falling off. And by the looks of it, the slow. So one of them ran over here, so I'm going to send a Hobgoblin to find him. Chaos should be wearing off shortly. There he is. Good work. These can come in, he's aggroed onto Belt, probably, yeah. We don't care. Belt's got plenty of health, Leah's got plenty of health. Got a few summons up yet. Summons will despawn shortly, so I'm going to try and get to Belt before this happens, because then Sarevok is going to aggro onto summons instead of our need to save folk. Because you can still lose the game if Sarevok kills your dukes.
Run as you will.
So, that was super good. That was clean. It doesn't always go like that. It actually rarely goes like that. First try is very abnormal. Within 4 is pretty normal, but that's, you know, quarter of the time you're failing. It's not very good. All right, so we talked to Belt again. Get teleported to the thieves' hideout. You see the spies of talk to them. We say, great. One first. So order of operations here is Shadow Door because it lasts longer, vulnerability second, and then don't cast Clairvoyance until you go down the stairs. The timing on the invulnerability is a little tight. So and the Shadow Door too. Like there's no dawdling that can happen here. Don't think too hard about what you're doing. Just kind of execute. So as soon as the effect goes on, quick save, reset, and go. As soon as you're downstairs, cast your Clairvoyance, and go.
Being a hero is hard work. Time to rest.
We use Shadow Door and Vulnerability here, the exact same in any percent. Shadow Door is just improved invisibility. It's another invis for free. That is very, very convenient to pick up. And then the invulnerability is for those traps, and then these 2 traps. So this is the, you know, tight portion. If your movement was slow, or, you know, in the old days, if you had to manually click through that, oftentimes your Shadow Door runs out, like, right here. Like, right on the edge of their vision. But there, invulnerability is gone. Shadow Door is still good for a little bit. Doesn't matter because we're going to cast a spell and turn it off, but... So, protection from magic, very handy. Hot invisibility on, so we are now visible. And we save here, because pulling him, I'm bad at it. What we're going to try and do is walk around, because most of these dots have traps. You can pull up a map online to see where all the red dots are. Avoid those because those are just normal physical objects. They do just butt ton of damage. And we're gonna walk up here, say hi to Sarevok. He's gonna talk at us. We're gonna walk back here. Kind of immediately after that dialogue ends, and then start mashing our potion and hope that it goes off before there's a cleric here who is going to do dispel magic. And so it will affect the invisibility but not your protection from magic. There's reasons. Yeah, so here we go. So we're going to walk back to kind of where we want Sarevok to stop, and then walk around. So unfortunately, his invisible friend, so there's also a, I think he's just a thief, but he's probably some aberrant race, is standing on one of my traps, and is in a very bad spot. As you see me walk around this invisible thing that is entangled. The nice thing is that it will generally push him out of the way eventually. There we go. So you're just trying to get on one of the diagonals. So either this diagonal or this diagonal. And that's going to give you the most traps back and forth, too. And the goal here is to just have this all done before the cloud kill goes away. Because otherwise you're taking too long. That's kind of your benchmarker. Like to hear those double trap sounds. So there goes his accomplice. Oh, taking too long. There it is. Not too bad though. So yeah, that's Legacy of Bhaal.
Only weeks ago, the malevolent Sarevok brought the city of Baldur.
Easy peasy every time. Deathless every time.